Greetings everyone, this is Lightstar. And wow, we have some upcoming thing coming up this week, which is the Lionsgate. So I wanted to intercede here and do a video particularly about this time period, this very important time period, might I add, that is coming up. And my last Oracle Consciousness reading that I did was talking about this summer and how the heat of the summer, there was going to be some big things and activity happening, and we're in kind of the heat of the summer. And because of Lionsgate as at the beginning of August, I also wanted to help you guys out because this is a big one. There's a lot of information coming for people, a lot of energy coming into the cosmos and into our own little cosmos in our own bodies. And I know for myself, the last two Lionsgates were particularly very emotional and very intense, and so I thought that in our preparation stages here for upcoming Lionsgate that I would do a mini Oracle Consciousness reading and couple it with a light language activation to kind of help us through this time period. So this is what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to share a little bit more about what I feel is coming and what some of the information about what's coming, and also how we can best sort of handle it and how it might be affecting us and where it might be affecting us on a consciousness level. Obviously, I'm not going to be going into each person's individual life unless you want to have a private reading with me, then I can go into do that. But here this is just the overall overview of what energetics are coming in and how we can kind of best ride the wave and be in this time period go through this time period most gracefully. So I'm doing this by, as I always like to do, using my oracle cards and my magical dimensions oracle cards and activators that have just actually recently been updated at the time of this filming, and they're coming out, at least at this moment, they should be out the end of August. You can pre-order them on my website, but I'm using the new cards now, so you'll be able to see what they look like through this reading as well. So let's go into what I feel the energies, or let's just say the frequencies and the energies of what is the overall that's coming in. And what I get here is using the cards. I'm going to be using my Emergence card here, and I'm going to show it here, and I'm also going to show it larger over here. But you'll see the Emergence, okay? The Emergence is the card that resembles most like the Magician card of a tarot deck, I would say. So as we can see, there is a lot of energy of newness and resurrection and energies of magical creation and all these new energies and frequencies that are coming in. Now, the newness and the energy that's coming in is also bringing these accelerated upgrades, and that is what Lionsgate also brings in, is this accelerated time period. So it's like we get to create what we want, and we get to sort of let go of what isn't really working for us so much anymore, or what we have already done that we need to move into the next step. And so that's what this energy frequency is all about. It's like rising from the ashes as well. Some of you out there have had to reinvent yourself many times over, and I know that for myself. I have also had to do that myself. So some of this reinvention time is a time for us to face this and to really look at what we want to create in this world, but also create in our own miniature worlds as well. Who we want to be with, who we want to be around, who we want to interact with, how we want to interact with people, bringing out our levels of, can we do this? You know, we've gone through a lot of insecurity. There's been a lot of the last couple of years energetically of a lot of insecurities, a lot of lack of confidence, and not sure if you're ready to do this, or not sure you have the right capability or the right skill sets or the right, whatever. It's been so much doubt, I think, and looking at other people and comparing and all that kind of stuff. And I feel that we're moving out of that finally, right? Like, oh my gosh, finally. So I feel like we're moving into a place of really being able to create what we want along with the divine energies, that divine creation, and not just trying to struggle and do it all of ourselves. And like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, but then really not allowing the spirit to come in and our souls to come in and help us with this whole process. So very powerful energy to start right out of the gate, literally, the lion's gate, and to notice that the portal doorway is opening. Okay, so it's a really good sign to see stepping forward with kind of the magician, this kind of energy, or the magical creation and emergence and all of that, to where we're actually getting some momentum forward as we step kind of through the gateway. Now, what I want to say is the energies of where it's affecting us. This could be affecting you in many different areas on your body physically. I get that we're all unique and different, and so these cosmic energies, these waves are coming in and affecting us all very differently. But I will say that there is some particular places that I feel is coming up. And two of the places are in there, they're in the lower chakra centers, okay? So the first one that's coming is going to be the solar portal, which is the power center, which isn't that interesting because Lion's Gate, right, is all about the lion. It's all about the power and the energy of that power and radiance, and that's right in the third chakra. So energetically, we're right in alignment with what is going to be kind of affecting us, where it's kind of affecting us, and what center or energy center is coming up for us. So it's going to hit us in the areas of power, and it's going to hit us. I don't mean hit us, really. It's not going to come and just slam into us, although it might. That's true. It might for some of us. But generally speaking, there is this sort of energetic wave that's coming into the power center to activate the power center stronger. Okay, so we've been working on confidence and working on this, and now it's really sort of this boost of what are you going to really do, and how are you going to really react, and what are you going to do to step forward. And so it may be hitting, I feel like it's going to be hitting a lot in the areas of career, health, and even issues of a combination of different issues between money and sex, and you know, how we kind of work with our own intimacy, and how we use power, and how sex is used in power and in the world, you know, speaking in the world, really looking at these issues very carefully, because the second one that comes up with this particular area is going to be the solar, solar sacral, they both start with S, so the sacral portal. So the sacral portal comes in to also energetically give us this sort of lift of our divine masculine and our divine feminine. So I feel like we're kind of being a really big balance with that coming in. Primarily the divine feminine energies we know have been really coming onto the planet very strongly to try to anchor in, try to rebalance the excessive masculine that we've had. But it's also coming in to work on your relationship with yourself, and to not neglect yourself, to be able to do some self-care and self-love as well, and allow yourself to be in that sort of powerful center. And so it's going to be opening up, how do we exert our power in the world? How do we deal with other people as well? How do we intimately connect with other people in our relationships? You know, am I still dealing with triggers and anger and frustration and, you know, blame and all these other lower kind of energies? Or do I need to kind of shift that around and stand a little bit stronger in my power center and let other people just do whatever they need to do for themselves, and not be triggered by it, and not be sucked into it, or not be controlled by it? Or all of these things are coming up for a revisit, I would say. And the revisit is for you to finally be able to walk through the gate and leave that stuff, or the lower frequencies of those types of energies kind of behind. And so it's really going to hit a lot on those levels is what I feel is really coming forth. So yes, you know, they're emotionally speaking, there may be some emotions that come up that have to do with all of this stuff, because Lionsgate does bring up some things. I mean, it's awesome, and it has this great push-pull kind of energy that moves us through and moves us through the portal. But it also means we have to kind of leave some things behind. We have to look at our lives. And to be honest, it also brings up a lot of fear. And these two areas can also bring up a lot of fear surrounding fear of what? Fear of our own selves, fear of our own power, fear of really, like, if we were to step out there, what would happen? And how would that affect us if we were to really step out and do what we're here to do? So it would affect the power centers and also your own fear about stepping forward and being assertive. Some of you need to be more assertive, and it may hit you in the realms of, I have to stand up for myself. I have to sort of step up and speak my truth, literally, when it comes to relationships and when it comes to things that have to do with intimacy. And we're going to have to just kind of see where you are in that realm and sort of do some reassessment in this time period. So that's kind of where it's like going to be affecting us. And I also want to look at how emotionally this is going to feel. Now, everyone's going to have somewhat of a difference there. Again, we're not going to be speaking every single person is going to be feeling this specifically, but in the placement that I've chosen here is the transformation card. Okay, I'm going to do the transformation card, which really talks about, this is like a metamorphosis. So this is the chrysalis, you know, phase that's opening up, and the caterpillar, you know, is going to be coming out of that and moving into the butterfly phase. So it is actually opening up, changing, being in the right place at the right time, kind of being in the energetics of synchronicity and allowing things to kind of flow a little bit better. So that's kind of as we move into emotionally maybe feeling like you're going through a tunnel, literally, and don't really know what's on the other side, but you know you're going to be coming out into somewhere, and there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel, and you will ultimately look and feel and be different and ultimately transformed when you come out the other side. So also some things may be increasing in your life. Synchronicities may be increasing at this time period. You may just be like, I feel like I need to go here, or I just have this intuition that's pulling me to do this. Act on those things, because this is going to be heightened right now, and it's going to be somewhat tested as well for you to actually step into that role of, are you going to listen? Are you going to act on these things? Or are you just going to sit back and just go, well, that's nice, I had a nice intuition, but I'm not going to really do anything about it. This is you stepping up, stepping out, having the courage to actually know you are going through this transformation, because ultimately we are transforming what? And how we're kind of feeling about this is we're transforming a lot of mucky muck, as we like to say. This is the harmonic resolution card, is always about 3D stuff, confusion, fear, frustration, negativities, all of the crap that we need to let go of before we can truly come into the metamorphosis stage. We have to be able to go through all this, and so it may feel very turbulent. It may feel like bringing things to the surface. It may bring up a lot of the negativity that's bringing it up to the surface, so that you can heal it and see it and be aware of it, and then release it and let it go. Is kind of coming up to the surface. So there may be some anger, there may be some confusion, there may be all the turbulent three-dimensional stuff that comes up, but it's for a purpose, and it's for purpose for you to see it this time. You know, a lot of you have been like having that stuff come up, and then you just go, oh, well, okay. And then it comes up and you're like, oh, well, no big deal. Okay, whatever. Now it's time to like, wow, okay, this is a repeating pattern and it keeps coming up, and hey, maybe I should look at this. Maybe I need to address this, because the new frequencies aren't going to support that. Okay, yeah, you can choose to do that, but the new frequency energies don't really support that energy. So it's going to be much harder for you. And so we need to look at where you're being triggered, where are you being angry still, where are you keeping on resentments or blame or holding on or having this confusion of I don't know. Okay, there's no more I don't knows in this new frequency energy. You really need to know. It's like we have all the answers within us. We do know. We just don't go there. And that's where we're being asked to go there, lift all this craziness out of the way and actually go there and be able to lift the lower frequencies because they're surfaced and they're called out. Now you have the awareness. Now you have the ability to see them. Now you have the ability to choose. Yes, choose, because we do have free choice of what you want to do with them. How are they going to stop you? Are they going to stop you? Are you going to allow that to stop you? Or are you going to exert your power, your center, and your placement on this world and in the 3D here on the planet and start to actually move forward and move forward in transmuting these energies? Because this is all about transmutation. This is what this card represents, is transmuting that energy. It's not about staying stuck in it or, okay, this is up and this is coming up and I'm just going to wallow and stay in it. No, this is about acknowledging it, seeing the shadowy sides for all it is, acknowledging it, loving it, accepting it. If you have, we need to accept things about ourselves, the light and the dark. So accepting it and transmutation and moving forward into the tunnel we go. So that's kind of the emotion of it. And really we are dealing with a lot of emotions. So I want you guys to be like really understanding that. Now we're going to say, what can we do to rise this wave with more ease and grace? Because that's what it's like, oh, that's great, wonderful, all this stuff's coming up. Now what do I do? How do I deal with it? Well, what I want to share is a couple of different tips that my cards have been wanting to share with us. So first one is adventure. Okay, so the adventure card comes up to tell us, like, well, let's look at this whole situation, what's happening, with the eyes of a child and the eyes of an adventurous child who is watching all of this and saying, wow, what a roller coaster ride. Oh, what fun. Let's go on the roller coaster ride. Hey, let's dive in. Let's go with this with not a sense of like, oh my God, this sucks. This is horrible. I hate this. Here we go again. I have to deal with this again. Oh my God. All of that. No, let's shift the perspective and say, wow, we are shifting and changing. We are excited about this. This is actually, yeah, we might have to deal with some bumps along the way, but actually that's part of it. And I'm excited to actually see where I end up with this process. So let's go in with this adventurous attitude. Let's go in not taking things too seriously and not just heaviness, but let's lighten it up like the child who wants to go on this wonderful trip, this wonderful vacation, and this wonderful adventure. Let's have that frequency. Let's utilize that energy to help us get through some of this stuff. Okay, so that's number one. The second thing I would like to say is, and by the way, this is almost like being on like we want to be like a child on a slide. You know, when a child goes down a slide and they're like, wee! It's like that's what we want to have the energy up. We also want to have this card, which is awakening, and we want to have this sense of knowing who we are. This is with a sense of we have a solid knowledge of who we are on the inside. We are awakening, yes, and there's a lot of you who need to remember who you are, which is what I help people do a lot, with helping them to remind themselves and remember who they are as a soul, why they came here, and with a purpose, so that you have a sense of who you are, you know who you are, you know that you're awakening, okay? You know that there's a lot of signs around you, the 1111s and all of that stuff that already showed you that this is the awakening time period. So knowing that you are in this time and you came here for this experience, You chose to be here at this time, at this place, and you have all of your ancient memories with you, all of your past life memories you retrieve, and you actually can have those memories to help you get through some of this stuff. Some of the stuff you already know, some of the things that your soul already knows. Let's utilize some of this ancient wisdom coming in that can help you with these cosmic waves. Okay, there's psychic impressions and psychic energies, that intuitions that are coming up to the surface to help you with going through the turbulent time and with going through the accelerated energetic time that we're moving forth. So knowing that you have these memories within you and that you're accessing these memories or allowing them to be accessed and coming to the forefront to actually help you in getting through this. You have done this before. You are not a child at this. I mean, you're a child in the way that you come across the perceptions of it, but you are not a child in the sense that most of you that are watching this stuff, that are being on here, are literally old souls. You've been around the block. And the ones that are just starting to awaken, that are just starting to be here and starting to utilize this, you also have memories too, though, because, very few of you have been here for the very first time, although there are people. But most of you have been here before on other planets and other universes as well, but you've been here. So you have to access some of these memories, some of these essences of who you are, and bring them to the surface. Very important. And lastly, okay, the heart portal. I mean, really and truly, this is how we get through everything. Is it not? The heart is really the receptive portal. I call them, these are chakras, but I call them portals on my cards. And literally this is what we're doing, is we're walking through this time period. We're walking through this with an open heart, with the energies of play and of the little child, and the energies and the frequencies that we're moving towards. This is the whole reason why we're doing all this. It culminates to the heart. It culminates to the energetics of the heart space and the love, and yes, love and light and all of that stuff. Yes, that's what we're doing, and we're trying to allow ourselves to open up to those frequencies more and more. So the portal opens up to love, literally. The frequencies of 5D, everyone talks about 5D, and most of the frequencies of the 5D are all about the heart. That's why we're moving out of the mind and the analytical, trying to figure it all out and trying to have this, into just allowing the heart to come to the forefront, allowing the heart to show you what it wants and how it wants to react and how it wants to behave and how it wants to interact with all of your brothers and sisters here on the planet and beyond. So the heart is always really at the heart of the matter, and so it's no doubt that it comes up at the very end of this kind of helping you through it, is to do this with an open heart. We do this with the eyes of a child and that innocence of a child, the adventure and the excitement. And we do it with the sense of knowing who we are and knowing at the core that we're going through something really big, and it's okay that we don't know everything, because honestly, we don't know everything of how all of this is going to transpire and how all we're going to be in 3 months from now. Things will be different, and we don't know all of how this is going to happen, that's going to happen. But we do know that we are a soul and we are on a journey, and we are understanding that we are accumulating knowledge and wisdom along the way and utilizing our knowledge and wisdom along the way. So we're actually doing both, and we're learning lessons at the same time. So this is giving ourselves that loving embrace to step forward into this time period of turbulence. And it's okay that it's a little bit turbulent. So we understand that we're the magician in the beginning, and we end up at the heart. So it's like what we're creating, what we're inventing and inventing of ourselves, and going through some of the turbulence in the middle. And then we're ultimately ending up at the heart space and blending all of who we are from coming from that place. It's super easy to say, oh, just come from the heart. But it's actually really hard for us. It's ultimately very easy for our soul, but it's very hard for us being in the three-dimensional, and we have so much layers and layers and layers of stuff that we've had on top of us in this life, in past lives, that are all about not trusting, about withholding love and not being forgiving and all these things that happen. So we have to sort of release all of that and move into this exciting Lionsgate time that is going to allow us to kind of come and flower and blossom in whatever way, in whatever form that looks for you. So hopefully that is helpful for you guys in going through this next period, in this time period of the next month, as well as we come up upon the eclipse, which will also be pretty profound in itself. So it's kind of, we're going into this trajectory of the Lionsgate and then the eclipse, and that's why I say it will be kind of different on the other side, somehow, some way in your life. So just being prepared and being having some tools along the way and remembering who you are will help in this process. So the other side of this that I would like to do is to do a little bit of a light language activation for this time period of the Lionsgate. So, and it's not to say that if some of you are watching it afterwards won't get an activation, because I don't know, people might be watching this well after this happened, but for those of you that do watch it just prior to this, it may give you a little bit of a boost or an activation. And I want to also bring in the energies of the Lyran, because why? Because it's Lionsgate. So of course we have to bring in the Lyran energy, which brings in that sort of feline, cat-like kind of energy. And it's going to be a little bit stronger than the typical Lyran. So just know, I don't interpret everything when I do light language activations, but just overall, this message I'm feeling is going to be a little bit more on the kick in the butt, activation, strength, and really giving you guys some frequencies of strength. So just, it's a good thing. So here we go with Lyran activation specifically for going through this Lionsgate portal, okay? So just as usual, most of you guys know, but if you don't, with my light language, just don't listen with the mind, listen with the heart, have that open heart to allow yourself to receive whatever is meant for you. Rotorgarne kireara, gariasto rokorushitira, kuriemat arakios on the dariara, kurusto kurierana, kariarma terieran. Ciujuna gireana, karietura kurjera, verianda galiarona, kariomagiriarana, geriundu junbiria. Zudio rujende, garana garokostoro, veriarana cariar, ked irona rasmiriar, gurigibiare i guruna da desirea, gariarana durius dorora, garokorujene, zibierna rate, kidierma, gar erkar ene telak. Rearuna arme kiriar ariarushun. Shivirana taria, kurira makirus mariri, rani te riata, kurishibirma kariaran, dariara barieria, jidiaran de gidia roma cara atishinia, zviarani il kuroma kariejini biarar, dariaran. Kiruma ramesteviara karamirumar. So just breathe the energy in for that right now, and just allow your body to absorb and assimilate whatever it needs to, wherever it wants to go, wherever it wants to activate you. And just take a nice deep breath in and breathe. and exhale. And thank you so much for allowing that energy frequency to come through. There was a little bit of a Lyran energy that came through with that. So it's a little bit of Lyran mixed with a tiny bit of Syrian in there. Sometimes that happens because there is such a thing as Lyran and Syrian mix. So sometimes that happens, and apparently the Syrian energy wanted to come forth as well for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I wanted to also tell you guys my Oracle deck, my Magical Dimensions Oracle deck. If you'd like to go on my website and purchase it, it's available. And you get all the beautiful, there's all sorts of pictures, there's a video about it. And the deck will actually be available probably the end of August. But you can pre-order it on my website right now, and all the super magic stuff. It's just beautiful and awesome, and you can use these cards. And I will be coming out with an Oracle card or Oracle class soon. So if you'd like to work with me further, you can also go onto my website at lightstarcreations.com, and I have my sessions there that you can purchase and work with me personally if you need some assistance further. And you can look at all my artwork and all the goodies that I have there to share with you. So I want to just honor you all for the courage and the strength that you all have within you to walk through the Lion's Gate. And we got a little bit of an activation and some tips to help you to, get through this time period. And again, we've got another one on the top of that with the eclipse energy, which is going to be really powerful. So just keep taking good care of yourself in the meantime. Love yourself through this process, and just giving yourself as many hugs as you possibly can would be a good thing. So I want to send you blessings from the angelics, the galactics, and the elementals, as I love to do all the time. So if you guys have any comments that you want to post, how you're processing, what's going on with you, you can post it in the comments section of either in YouTube or Facebook or wherever this video ends up. And I'd love to hear from you guys, and I'm loving to share the information that I have, and hopefully it'll help you guys along the way. So thanks a lot. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful week ahead.